There are no typical murderers. Some plan their crimes meticulously, while others kill on impulse.
Ed Gein's childhood was very twisted. His mother, Augusta, lectured her sons on the sins of desire and sex. During rainy nights, she read the story of Noah with predictions of a coming flood to cleanse the world of sinful women.
After Augusta's death, Gein became more troubled. He closed off the parlor in his mother's room as sort of a shrine to his mother. The room was the cleanest room in the entire house.
The rest of his house was a complete mess. He never cleaned it or himself.
After his mother's death, Ed lived off federal farms besides an occasional odd jobs, including babysitting. He used to babysit for Mrs. George Foster regularly.
Ever since Augusta's death, Ed Gein began to develop fantasies of becoming his mother. Every day he would read the obituaries to see if any young women died. The night of their burials, he would go to the cemetery and dig up their graves, including his mother's.
Gein didn't dig up all of these graves by himself. He had a longtime friend who was also a loner named Gus. Gein told Gus about these experiments he wanted to perform, but he needed the bodies, so Gus helped him dig it up.
Ed fantasized of being a woman, especially his mother. He used breasts to make a vest, wore women's panties stuffed with vaginas, a coat made of vaginas and breasts, skin leggings, and a mask when he pretended to be his mother.
During deer hunting season, all the men were out of town hunting for food, leaving all the women in town alone. Ed Gein went into Bernice Warden's store to buy antifreeze. Gein killed her by shooting her at close range with a .22 rifle.
Her son, Frank Warden, a deputy sheriff, walked into the store later that day finding blood tracks, with Bernice nowhere to be found. The only thing he recovered was a receipt of antifreeze.
Frank tried to think of any suspicious activity. He soon remembered that Gein had been in and out of the store that previous week. He remembered Gein saying he'd be back in the morning for antifreeze.
Police began the search in Gein's shed. Inside the shed, they found a woman's naked corpse hanging upside down, completely gutted, and the throat and head missing. It was the body of Bernice Warden. Her head was found in a cardboard box. Her heart was in a plastic bag on the stove.
One of the policemen said they saw something that looked like hair in the paper bag. When they pulled the object out, it was Mary Hogan's head.
Mary Hogan was a bar owner of one of the taverns in town. She had been missing for 3 years since they found her head.
Gein would also use the dismembered bodies as decorations around his home. He would make lampshades out of skin, lips for the string. He hung up heads from a ceiling as ornament.
Ed would make tables out of human bone, a cloth made of human skin, and a couch completely out of skin.
Ed would also make bowls out of human skulls. He would eat and drink out of them. The same scenario went on for more than 10 years.
Gein was arrested and taken to Watauga County Jail. He admitted murdering Bernice with a .22 caliber rifle shot through the back of the head. He also admitted murdering Mary Hogan.
Psychiatrists diagnosed Gein as schizophrenic, clinically insane, and mentally unfit for trial. He was sent to Central State Hospital for the criminally insane in Waupun, Wisconsin. He stayed there for 10 years before his trial.
On November 7, 1968, Bernice Warden's trial began. A jury found Ed guilty of first-degree murder but criminally insane at the time of the murder. He was sent to Central State Hospital and later transferred to Mendota Health Institute.
On July 26, 1984, Ed Gein died of cancer at the age of 78. He was buried beside his mother in the Plainfield Cemetery.
Vandals would chip off pieces of his gravestone as souvenirs. Then it was stolen in June 2000. After it was covered near Seattle in June 2001, it was placed in a museum.
Ed Gein's actions made quite the impact on the world today. Many movies were based on his actions, including Psycho, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs.